we were brave some time ago to start this project.
Hello and good afternoon. Today I'm joined by Dawid from Quantee. I first met Dawid back when Quantee had just started, so I'm especially excited to talk with him today. He's a fellow actuary and co-founder of Quantee. Quantee is the next generation platform for insurance pricing. So let's meet Dawid. Hello, Dawid.
Hi, nice to be here.
Excellent. It's great to have you on as well. The first thing I want to ask you about is how did you get where you are today?
I've been an actuary since 2013. I work mostly for the UK, Germany, and French insurance companies, also having origins in Poland, because that's where I'm living right now. During that old times, the data science and machine learning concepts were just starting to emerge. The insurance sector was a bit behind that.
Yeah.
But there was also like people getting interested in that kind of area.
Yeah.
I was working back then as an independent contractor in the UK. I think earning reasonable amount of money and having interesting projects, but I was missing something that would have a wider impact, especially on the insurance pricing and generally on the insurance sector, and use recent data science techniques, AI, and this kind of knowledge to solve the problems and challenges that insurance pricing had and have still at that moment. So that's why I co-founded Quantee.
I think a lot of contractors feel they're not building up a business. It's very much kind of one project, then another project, whereas building a business is more of an achievement. What do you see as yours and Quantee's mission for insurance pricing?
I think Quantee has very simple but yet powerful mission that everybody who works for Quantee understand. And I think our customers also understand that. We aim to use the most modern next generation technologies to make pricing more individualized, personalized, and fair. So that kind of three topics, this is something that we underline on every step. We are also very customer-centric company. So we aim to produce a piece of software that is loved by the customers. And basically, we are not taking any compromises here.
My own vision really is that every customer should pay the exact right price for them as an individual. I'm particularly interested in these tools that will make that better, will help us actually to achieve that vision. What's a key thing that makes Quantee better than the other pieces of software that are out there?
What is pretty unique about us is that we are the first and only end-to-end pricing platform that contains all of the necessary tools for modern pricing actuaries to react to the events that are happening on the market. We have the automated GLM, GAM models, but also automated machine learning models with explainable AI. On the other hand, we are able to be very flexible in terms how you basically design the pricing process, the pricing pipeline, together with things like open source integration. And then at the end, expose that to the sales channels, do all of these ABX tests that are required for impact analysis, for gathering the data for demand models, and even propensity to buy models, which are used to offer the fully personalized prices for GI products.
Yeah. It's interesting how it's the only tool that genuinely is end-to-end. Even the oldest tools still separate the analytical part from the rating engine, which for anyone who's done this for a long time know that can be very awkward when you come to actually load in your models and then deploy them out into the world. Why do you think that is, that other people haven't made a tool that will let you work end-to-end?
Doing a software for the insurance companies itself, it's a very difficult challenge. So it's not like you build the MVP and then go to the markets and that's it. I think you have to be really careful and do all of the necessary stuff that are required for the pricing actuaries to do their job. And my personal view, it's very difficult to build such solutions. It is possible, but it's difficult and costly. But even harder it is to maintain such a solution. We were brave some time ago to start this project. It's a global trend for that kind of pricing underwriting solutions.
I worked internationally as well, and we were putting in place complicated models. In those markets, people are starting to get left behind.
What I can observe globally is a trend of becoming more individualized, customer-centric, and dynamic in terms of the underwriting and pricing. Of course, every market has its own pace, but the reality is that everybody's taking the same race. Events like inflation, new regulations, AI, new data, with aggressive pricing. So pricing departments wanted to react somehow to this market movements.
Yeah.
And do that swiftly within minutes or hours, not months or even years, which is yet another step in the pricing sophistication. I think everybody sooner or later will take that step, regardless of the market.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think anyone who isn't working on their pricing models and improving their pricing is going to be left behind. It is an arms race. And if you get yourself sort of 6 months, a year behind your competition, it very quickly becomes hard to catch up. And I think it's especially difficult because we in the UK and to some extent the US have shown what can be done in this regard quite quickly. So whereas we had to work it out as we went along, a lot of these things already have a blueprint now. That there's already technology like yours that would make a switched on insurer immediately ahead of their competition. So it's easy to see how some people can get left behind in this and could end up in very difficult positions. So my next question, Dawid, is what did you see as your vision for the future of insurance pricing?
My personal vision, I think it's threefold. So first of all, I think people like pricing actuaries, pricing analysts, managers around that process will need to have tools and capabilities to create any pricing change and implement it to the sales channels within minutes or hours. Of course, with a proper impact analysis and so on, but certainly not months or years. And I think this can be achieved thanks to the automation of process, automation of modeling, GLM, machine learning, the usage of AI.
Yeah.
And of course, from the deployment side of view, cloud services and the whole branch of what we can call machine learning ops. So exposing your pricing strategy to the sales channels as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
This is what I actually call being dynamic in terms of the pricing.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think pricing actuaries will not be limited only to the rating structures, but will be able to use the power of machine learning and AI, even generative AI, to automate the pricing and underwriting processes and to make this process more individualized and precise. This, of course, has to cover all of the transparency issues, because this is how actually we can offer more individualized and more fair price to the customers. And thirdly, the new class of models and data, I think it will allow actuaries to build new models like propensity to buy models and allow the insurance companies to be truly customer-centric. This is to achieve kind of strategy. You can offer certain insurance products. These 3 points is something that I believe is a vision, so something that everybody will strive to in terms of the insurance pricing. This is also how Quantee generate value for our customers.
Yeah, I definitely think that's absolutely where it will go, and not just in the pricing, but in the proposition that we offer and everything around that. The pay-as-you-go is inevitable to happen more. The IoT, the telematics side. It's been a bit of a slow start, particularly in Europe with the telematics, but I can see why. There are quite a lot of barriers. There are not just technological but cultural as well, but it really feels like those are breaking down, and telematics is becoming massive in the US. It's really being adopted, and I see no reason why it isn't going to happen here in Europe as well, because it is better for the customer and it is fairer for customers to be priced and offered a product that really matches who they are as an individual.
Yeah, and I'm also pretty excited about, embedded insurance and parametric insurance data. This is something exciting that is also on the horizon, and it will certainly need experts in pricing to calculate that properly and offer the true value to the potential policyholders.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, the parametric actually, I sometimes hear people thinking it's so much simpler, we won't be needed, but that's totally wrong. You still have to calculate the frequency, which is the bigger, more complicated models. I don't see that the parametric removes the need for us at all, but it can be quite a lot better for customers. I'm sure you've seen products like Flood Flash, where when the event happens, people are pretty much immediately paid a set amount of money, rather than going through the complicated claims process.
Certainly, and I'm quite surprised that one can think that you don't need pricing actuaries for parametric insurance. I think it's all based about the data.
Yeah.
So the correct data, processing of this data, and then using that to correctly calculate the frequencies. And this is crucial. So whatever technology you have in that kind of type of insurance product will determine whether you're successful or not.
I must say, something I was very impressed with Quantee is the A/B testing inside the tool rather than forcing us to rely on the IT infrastructure. Do you see that as being an area that you want to develop in future to make even more of the difficult, complicated parts of the pricing process inside of Quantee?
Pricing actuaries needs to have the IT involvement, but it needs to be minimized so that we can react to the certain events that are happening on the market.
Absolutely.
And all of the things, A/B testing, collecting the data for the demand model, even automated refreshment of the demand models, real-time monitoring of the pricing engines.
Yeah.
These are crucial topics for us. And I think we greatly cover and help pricing actuaries right now in these tasks. Of course, there is potential to do more.
Yeah.
You just need to listen to the customers and listen to their feedback and also, ideas, how software can help them in their process. The magic is that pricing engine is one part of the story, but the second part of the story is that you have software or analytical environment where you can build whatever you want, whatever is needed to react to the certain market events.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to do that quickly and have it fully integrated with deployment.
Awesome. All right, thanks a lot for your time this afternoon, David. Is there anything you want to add before we finish up?
Nope. That was super interesting conversation. I'm always happy to share my thoughts and thoughts of my team about the insurance pricing. I think it's extremely interesting time, very fast in terms of what's happening on the market. It's always worth to talk about that and to share the knowledge outside.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Thanks a lot, David, and you have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.